Hello friends, welcome to something a bit different. I'm going to try and predict the Premier League table for the first time for the 2020-21 season. Now this is a year I think could come up with a lot of surprises and also come up with a lot of disappointments. Anyways, let's get things kicked off with number 20, Fulham. Now, as a Spurs fan, I want Scott Parker to do well, and I think they have made some okay signings, and I think they do have some good players. Mitrovic, Harrison Reed, Areola Zambo Anguissa is okay, but I just don't think they have the depth, and I don't think they have the quality yet to really put up a fight in the Premier League. So that's why they're 20th. Sorry, Fulham. Now, in 19th, West Bromwich Albion. I think, again, similar to Fulham, they have an okay squad. They have some good players. Diangana, I think, is a brilliant purchase from West Ham. And I think they do have some quality. Sam Johnstone is all right. Mateus Pereira is also a good signing. I just, again, don't see where there's much quality to bring them out of the depths of relegation, so I also think they're just bound to go down. In 18th, we have Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa kind of just escaped very, very narrowly last year and probably should have gone down, especially if they lose Jack Grealish. I just can't see them putting up much of a fight. They've made some okay signings. You got Matty Cash at right back. Ollie Watkins is coming in, so that's also an exciting signing. Maybe he's going to bring some goals, and he can also bring some creativity with him. But also, maybe it might be a little Atalanta thing of like he only played well in a certain system. I don't know. And John McGinn, I think, is a good player. They have some okay players in their team. I just don't know if it's enough to stay up this year. Moving on to the first team that narrowly escapes relegation, West Ham. This isn't just for my allegiance to Tottenham Hotspur. I just think West Ham have a good squad. They just don't know how to put it together. I was really impressed actually by Thomas Souček in the later part of the year. I was impressed with Michail Antonio, who I really like as a player, really like as a personality. But again, I just think they're going to struggle. And I'm not really convinced by David Moyes either. For that reason, I think they'll struggle to stay up, but I think they'll ultimately be safe. In 16th position, we have Crystal Palace. Again, I think Crystal Palace have an okay squad, but a lot of them are getting quite up there in age. I remember when the season was ending, they were constantly fielding a team that was like 27 as an average age or something, which, you know, can be okay, but they also just were on a terrible run of form at the end of the season last year. So I don't know. I think they've made some good purchases, and Eberechi Eze, Nathan Ferguson is okay, but, you know, they're championship players who need to step up to the next level. Who knows if they're going to provide or flop. So we will see. But I think they'll be okay this year. In 15th position, and I'm probably going to get some hate for this, Leeds United. I mean, you know, I understand. Bielsa, mastermind. I understand he's a genius. He's contributed so much to managers worldwide. But I don't know. There's just some gaps in the squad for me. I, again, don't really know where the goals are going to come from. They brought in Rodrigo, who is hopefully going to be good. They have some interesting young talent, and they have obviously Calvin Phillips and a few solid defenders and such, and I think Leeds belong in the Premier League. I just don't know if they really have the quality yet to push for top 10, as some people are predicting. I think they'll struggle a bit more than people are expecting they will. In 14th position, we have Newcastle United, a team that was supposed to get a takeover and then subsequently it was ruined and Mike Ashley is still in charge. But that being said, I think they've made some good investments. Jamal Lewis is a great addition. Ryan Fraser is also a great addition. And I think Callum Wilson will be serviceable up top and actually kind of provide a good link with Joe Linton if he can do anything. I think they're a pretty solid team, and I think they have a decent manager in Steve Bruce. So, yeah, I think they'll be just about okay, Newcastle. In 13th, we have Burnley. I mean, what can you say about Burnley? They're a solid side. Son Dice is good. They haven't really bought anyone, which is whatever, but they have a good team. They have an okay team. Yeah, I think they'll be just about fine. Now we're getting to the part of the table that I think could really be wacky this year. In 12th position, I have Brighton and Hove Albion. I think they're actually going to be a quite good team this year. I really like Graham Potter. I really like Ben White. And I really like Adam Lallana. And I think for the style that they're going for, I think they can challenge a few big teams this year. And I think they can really just sweep the pitch with a few of the other teams. So, yeah, I think they're a pretty good team. I'm really looking to see if Leandro Trossard develops anymore. I just think they'll be pretty solid. And also, Veltman from Ajax has joined them. So, yeah, I think Graham Potter has something going there. Coming in at 11th is Sheffield United. I think they have a great manager, and I think that their players are I think most of their players are really, they've made some good investments in Max Lowe and Jaden Bogle, Aaron Ramsdale as the replacement for Dean Henderson, but I just don't know if they're ready to keep that momentum that they had last year. I think they've made some good investments. I just think they played a very, very physical style of football last year, and they played a very particular style of football last year, and maybe they don't have the preseason to work up to what they need to start this year off right. I don't know. It's really just, I think the teams above them are going to be better than them, and there's nothing to knock on for Sheffield United. I think they're a good team. I just think the teams above them are a little bit better. One of those teams, and this is the team I would really call the dark horse this year, is Southampton. I absolutely adore Ralph Hasenhüttl. I think he plays some beautiful football. I think they have some really, really, really good players in their team. Kyle Walker-Peters, I really admire as a Tottenham fan. Salisu is a really good get. They do have a little gap in midfield because Højbjerg left, but I think on the whole their team looks pretty dang good, and if they get another big midfielder in, I think they'll just be fine. I just think they have a really good thing going for them, and I could really see them pushing on next year with their identity. So, yeah, 10th for Southampton. Coming in at 9th, we have Everton. I think Carlo Ancelotti is a great manager, and I think that they have a really good squad now. The signings of James Rodriguez, Abdoulaye Doucouré, and Alan in midfield is just scary for someone like us to face on Sunday. I think they just have a few really good players in a lot of their positions. I think their back line is pretty solid. I really like Lucas Digne. He didn't have the best of seasons last year, but that's okay. I really like their attacking output. I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I like Richarlison. So I think they'll be a great team this year and really be one that's hard to play against. Coming in at 8th is Leicester City. And yeah, I just think Ben Chilwell leaving is kind of a big deal. And I think if you look at their form post Christmas, they were just kind of bad. They started off amazingly last year and just dropped off, especially when their fullbacks got injured. It just tailed off a little bit. And if indeed he gets injured again, it's just all over. Jamie Vardy is a great player, but he's old, and his output really dropped after Christmas as well. We'll just see with them, but I think they'll have a drop off next year. 8th. Coming in at 6th and just narrowly missing the top 6, I'm going to say Wolves. I think, the loss of Matt Doherty is pretty big. They need to find a right back for replacement. You are not going to chuck Connor Cody there anymore. I think Marsal is a good get. Fabio Silva is a good get. But I think they need to replace Matt Doherty. I don't know. But I think, again, they have an amazing, solid manager. They have a solid team. And I think, they're just a solid top 10 team now. And I think everyone hates just playing against Wolves. They have some amazing players. Adama Traore can just wreck any defense on its day. So I think you never want to count Wolves out. Coming in at 6th, and this should probably be expected, take it for what you will, Arsenal. Yeah, I think that Saliba, good player. Magalhaes, if that's how you say it, good player. But they need to settle into the Premier League, and it's hard to do that. And it's especially hard when they are so young. I like Arteta as a manager. I have to admit that he seems like a good manager. However, I still think that they lack the depth and they lack the quality and some of the players to play the kind of style that Arteta wants. I don't want to comment too much on Arsenal because, again, they're rivals. But yeah, I think they'll be fine this year. They have good players. And I think, they'll be in the top 6. But I do want to just clarify that I think any one of the top 6 is in for a pretty good shout this year, in my opinion. I think, obviously, you're going to have 3 teams at the top really duking it out. But I think, besides that, most people are saying it could really go a number of many ways. That being said, though, coming in at 5th, Manchester United. I think that Manchester United have a solid first team, a really solid first team. However, I think they just lack depth. And also I have to back my team here, but I just think they lack a little bit of depth. They really need some new center backs and new left backs for me, because you can't count on Luke Shaw all the time. I think he's a good player, but you can't count on him. I don't see the depth there to really mount a challenge the whole year. So, Donny van de Beek, great signing. I wish we could put in a bid for him. We just don't have the money to compete right now. If they get Reguilon in, I don't think it changes much, but they're a good team. I just think they lack depth, and I don't really rate Ollie as a manager yet. So, there we go. 4th, Tottenham Hotspur. What can I say? I mean, I gotta just back us to do well this season. Jose Mourinho's second season, I think, for a large part of the year last year, we were just missing loads and loads of players. And if we had everyone fit, I think we still could have just been for a shout for the top 4 easily. And I think even with players out, even with Harry Kane out, as we have seen in the documentary, we were really, really close to the top 4 many points during the season. I don't think we're as far off as people think we are. And I think with all the tools that Jose wants at his hands, I think he can really just come up well. I think if you compare our squad with Manchester United squad or our squad with Arsenal's, even some of Chelsea's squad with our squad, I think we are a pretty competitive team, and I back some of our players over some of their players. So that's why I'm picking us to be in fourth and maybe even do better than that. I think people are saying we're going to focus on the cups, we're going to focus on Europa League, but really I think we still want to secure top four, and I think we have the personnel to do that, especially if we get a backup striker. So yeah, I'm not too worried. I am backing us, and this may just come back to bite me, but that's what I'm saying. Coming in at third, Chelsea. I mean, this freaking window for Chelsea, dude, it's just ridiculous. They have Christian Pulisic, Havertz, Ziyech, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Timo Werner. It never ends. The only thing I can see being their downfall is defensive organization from Frank Lampard, set piece insecurity from Frank Lampard, defensive errors, Kepa still being bad and still being in net. I know they got a new goalkeeper, but I really am not convinced by him either. I don't know. I mean, I think they'll obviously be better this year, but I just don't know if Frank Lampard has the coaching credentials to really push them to that next level yet. And they kind of just, to me, seem to have too many players in similar roles, and I feel like some players are going to get mad. When you try and fit that many good players into a team, I think you can kind of ruin the chemistry sometimes. And maybe that's just my wishful thinking, but still, I put them above us, so third for Chelsea. They will be up there. I think it's quite possible that these next two teams are going to slip up this year. Who knows? Coming in at second, we have Liverpool. I think they've really given a lot these past 2 years, these past 3 years, honestly. Like winning the Premier League this year, obviously huge. Champions League before that. Champions League final before that. Like, they've had a few rough years. And I think with any manager, you just can't keep up that intensity all the time. So if Liverpool drop off a little bit, I'm not going to be too surprised, and I don't blame them. Obviously, they have amazing players. Obviously, they have an amazing squad, and they have done some remarkable things. I just don't know if they can keep it up. We will see, though. Obviously, that leaves Manchester City as the number one position in the Premier League. I just think, I'm not 100% sure that they will be there. I think it's very possible that they might also have a drop-off. I think there's some speculation as to whether Pep can really motivate them for another year, because they've already won the Prem a few times, and then really the main thing now is the Champions League, and obviously they're going to want to mount a challenge for that. I don't know, though. I mean, obviously, I think they have the best squad in the whole Premier League. That's not even debatable, really. But I can also just see them dropping off a bit. I don't know. I really think we could be in for a surprise in the title race this year. That's going to be my biggest, boldest prediction. However, it's very possible Manchester City just play like Manchester City and just completely demolish the league again, because they have the players and the manager to do that. And if everyone is up for it, I think they can just kill it. And anyways, that's this video. Let me know what you think of my predictions down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. I make tons of gaming videos and Tottenham videos and all this kind of football talk and stuff. But anyways, I'll see you for the game on Sunday. See ya.